All right, welcome everybody to the formulajonah YouTube channel, and welcome back to race day in the World Endurance Championship. It is finally time. It is race day for the Lone Star Le Mans in 2024. We are gonna go. We're gonna be going live for this event. It's gonna be super exciting. So much to talk about coming into this race and during the race as well. But yeah, how this is going to work is basically we're going to be discussing what's going on beforehand, do a quick pre-race details and all that sort of thing. And then once the race starts, which is in precisely around, I'd say 27 minutes or so from live streaming this, we'll do the race start, cover what's going on. Of course, we can't stream the live feed. I would get copyrighted and all that sort of thing, and I don't want to violate any of those regulations. But yeah, we're going to stream the race start, and we're only going to do the race start, since, of course, I can't stream the full race. That would be not really great, of course. But yeah, this is going to be exciting. Can't wait to see the WEC back in the United States for racing. 6 hours of racing is coming up, starting at 1 o'clock local time, then heading out for 6 hours straight until around 7 p.m. Local time in Texas, of course. Yeah, a lot to discuss heading into this one, especially the qualifying and kind of how things are lining up for the race itself. It's just me today. David is unable to make this stream today, so you'll see my face, and you'll see, of course, the data out on our screen right now. What we have right here is the lineup or the starting grid for the top 12 overall, and as you can see, it is Antonio Giovinazzi that put the car on pole position, the 51 Ferrari. Ferrari are starting 1-2 for only the second time this season. The last time that happened was in Imola, and that was one of the races that Ferrari could have won. Honestly, heading into this race, it could go either way. It could go Ferrari, it could go Toyota, it could go Porsche, it could go Cadillac, who knows? Speaking of Cadillac, actually, Alex Lynn put the number 2 V Series R in third place. Cadillac looking very strong heading into this event, and I think the standout of that hyperpole session and coming into this race is, as you can see, the car in fourth position, the Alpine A424. Remember, viewers, this is a brand new car into endurance racing. This is a car that's never raced here at COTA before. They've done limited testing as well. Charles Malesi, what a lap time from the number 35 Alpine, and that put them into fourth place for the starting grid. So best place ever in the WEC for the A424, and best place in a WEC race since the 24 Hours of Le Mans, which was arguably Alpine's last really competitive race, in my opinion. So yeah, really, really impressive stuff from Alpine. But overall, the car that looks the fastest, the car that is to beat, in my opinion, is the Ferrari 499P. You look at the 3 Ferraris that are here, they are the only cars, besides BMW actually, that have all cars in the hyperpole session, and all of them are starting in the top 5. 2 of them, of course, on first and second position, 51 ahead of the 83, and then the Le Mans winning number 50 Ferrari is starting 5th. So honestly, I think Ferrari's got a good chance at a win. It would be their first win in the WEC outside of Le Mans. They've only won the 24 Hours of Le Mans, so it'd be great to see this happening. So we are about 5 or so minutes into this live stream. We are going to get going at 1 o'clock local time. So that is in around, I'm just looking at the time here, around 25 minutes till race start. I will be doing the race start. I'll be going over this. Stick around for this live stream. Really excited to be doing these live streams, these watch-alongs. They were really successful back at Le Mans. When we did one for the start of the 24 Hours of Le Mans, we had over 200 viewers live, which was great to see. I'm assuming we won't get the same number considering this is a smaller race compared to Le Mans. Le Mans is, of course, more prestigious, but still definitely hoping for a good turnout for today. And I hope that you enjoy this live stream. Hopefully we can do more of these for the remaining rounds of the season. And as I mentioned as well, the way this is kind of going to work is, of course, I can't stream the live feed, so you won't see the cars going out on track. You won't see any of those cars, unfortunately. I wish I could do that. But the WEC has the rights, of course, to that. It is their race, and I don't want to violate any of those rights. And if you want to catch the live stream of all the cars, the commentary, the live feed, head over to the WEC's official app. That is the best place to watch it. if you're in the United States of America, it will be streamed on the Max streaming service. Those are the ways you can watch this event. If you want more details, you can check out my race preview. That is now officially on the YouTube channel as well. So definitely check that out if you haven't already watched that. But yeah, we are getting going in just a few minutes' time. Thank you to everybody who's joined so far. We have 50 live viewers right now, which is great to see. A lot of comments coming in as well, which is great to see. Thank you all so much for your support lately of the YouTube channel. It has been absolutely incredible. We are almost at 30,000 subscribers, which is absolutely incredible. But yeah, absolutely incredible to see the support for the channel. It's been amazing. And I'm just going to make sure we have everything correct. So give me a moment. I'm going to mute myself. I just want to make sure we have all the graphics out on screen. We have all the things ready to go. I'm muted. My bad. I thought I was not muted. I'm going to see if I can get David in here as well. He's available, which is great to see. We'll see if he can join for our start of the stream. Give me one moment.
Here already.
All right, David, we have you now on stream. Let me quickly
Perfect.
get all the details for you. Give me a moment. Let's see here. I got to get all the... Currently there's a logo of Lone Star Le Mans where you are right now, so I gotta remove that. Even though we love that logo, it is great to see. Let's see here. There we go. Okay, now we have you out on screen. So David, welcome to the live stream here. I know you're a little bit late, but it's okay. You're here.
Thank you.
And how are you doing on this fine evening? Are you excited for this upcoming event? We are here at Lone Star Le Mans, ready to get going. Ferrari on pole position. Can they hold it into the first lap? Can they hold it to the end of the race? That's the big question, right?
Well, yeah, absolutely. I just recently got the results of the qualification, and my God, such a big battle for pole position. Ferrari looking absolutely dominant, though, by the end of the session. But Cadillac, my God, Alex Lynn with that final lap, that was amazing. That had me staying and get excited for what we talked about, Jonah, because we talked about Cadillac performing at this home Grand Prix or home race for them. So yeah, I think it's gonna be a battle, and I think we're gonna see some close racing, but my God, those Ferraris look fast. And Antonio Giovinazzi with that mentality and that racing spirit that he had at qualifying, then watch out for the rest of the field, because that's going to be crazy.
Yeah, before you came on, we were just discussing how competitive those 499Ps look. We have all three of the cars in the top 5. Can they hold it to the end? We will see how that goes. And another impressive performance that I was just mentioning, I'm not sure if you saw it already, David, which was the Alpine, the A424 in the hands of Charles Malesi. Of course, Freddie Habsburg is going to be, jumping into the car for the start of the race, which is great to see. But Malesi put the number 35 Alpine in 4th place, a car that we have it's brand new to the WEC. It's never raced here at Texas before. And of course, all these cars haven't raced at Texas. But this one is especially new compared to the likes of the Porsches, the Ferraris, the Cadillacs, who have raced in the WEC for now 2 seasons. So we'll see how that works out. Hopefully Alpine can grab a strong result. They currently, I believe, sit 4th in the championship, if I'm not mistaken. So they're doing pretty good in the championship standings.
Yeah, having a solid season so far, Alpine. So I'm impressed with them. I mean, of course, there was the unfortunate event at Le Mans where both cars retired. But other than that, for a first season in WEC and with a new car, I'm pretty impressed of how they're doing. But yeah, in general, there's so many good stories. I mean, watching also the GT3 cars, seeing that Porsche actually had to fight a lot to get into that top three.
Right.
I was wondering if they even got into hyperpole for a quick second, because the competition in GT3 was so close as well. And seeing only one Porsche in the hyperpole was something that we were not used to this season, Jonah.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, that was a surprise for me when it came to LMGT3 not seeing the 91 Porsche in there, and that car of course sits second in the championship. But I think that's partly due to the fact that the 911 GT3R is very heavy. We talked about this in our race preview, David. And if folks were joining us for that and watched the race previews, well, you know that the BOP has the 911 GT3R, the Porsche, really quite heavy compared to the previous round, and I think that's going to really hurt them. So honestly, as I predicted in our predictions of that live stream, I think we're going to see one of the first or the second non-Porsche victory in LMGT3. It could go the way of BMW. I put the Aston Martin number 27 for the win, and interestingly, they qualified on pole position in the hands of Ian James. So can Aston Martin hold that? Of course, it's their home Grand Prix. It'd be great to see the Vantage GT3 on top in LMGT3. So we'll definitely see how that goes. We have a few comments coming in, and viewers, let us know in the comments who you think is going to take the win in both classes of Hypercar and LMGT3. We have one saying face reveal question mark. I have shown my face before on a few videos and for live streams, but if you're new to the channel and haven't seen these live streams, it's likely one of the first times you're seeing our faces here on things, because of course for the YouTube stuff, for the content, I usually don't show my face. I usually just have the microphone. I found that's just a better situation, but for the live streams, of course, it's better to have our faces, show our expressions, show who we are in general, and be normal. So that's great to see for sure. David, I want to
normal.
exactly. David, I want to go over something real quickly, because we are about 15 minutes till the race starts. So we're just about getting going with this event. But before that happens, we have a little bit of time. I want to quickly go over something that I put out on a community post just a few hours ago, which is predictions for who we think is going to take the overall win in Hypercar. I put a couple of different options here. I'm just going to read, viewers and David, what the results are. So far, Ferrari is leading. 50% of folks think that the 499P is going to take victory. I got to agree. 11% think that Toyota is going to take the overall win. 21% think that Porsche is going to take the overall win. And the final is 19% think other. So other being either Peugeot, Cadillac, BMW, Lamborghini, or Alpine. So right now, it seems the majority of folks think that Ferrari is going to take the overall win. David, would you agree on that? Or is there something that we could potentially see where it mixes up and Ferrari don't win? Kind of like what happened at Imola.
Yeah, because let's just remind ourselves, we have only seen qualifying so far. We have seen practice as well. And that's one picture, but this is a long race. It's endurance racing, and we can see things change all throughout the race. Throughout our live stream last time, we talked about the reliability as well. And this is a new track for most of these cars. So seeing how they would act is one of the key factors in this race. It's not just like we saw at Le Mans, where of course it's a longer race, but these cars have been racing there before. This is a new track. It's a different story, and I believe that, for example, at Toyota, even though they had a difficult qualifying with only one car in Hyperpole, they will be there at the top and fighting for victory, as well as we saw Porsche leading the championship for that fact, also be in the fight. So I see a close race, but definitely the Ferrari 499P has the advantage right now.
I agree. I agree with everything you said there, David. And I think that Ferrari's definitely got a strong chance. When we look to Toyota's cars, they start 9th and 12th on the grid, which is not the result I'm sure that the GR010 drivers would have wanted. But yeah, we'll see how things go. But yeah, I'm just we have, or for me, I have the live stream of the WEC kind of off to the side here. So if you see me kind of glancing off, viewers, that's why I'm looking at what's going on. They are currently on the grid. The cars are all lined up. A packed grandstand as well. We know that COTA can fill a lot of folks, as seen over in the Formula One races. And it's great to see that the WEC is getting much bigger. You know, the last time we were here was in 2020. And that was, of course, before the pandemic. But the grid is much bigger the grid is much bigger, and the amount of fans coming to this track is a lot more compared to the previous races, which is absolutely incredible to see. You know, one of the factors as well is that there are 3 different manufacturers that are from the United States here at this event. You have the likes of Cadillac, you have the likes of Chevrolet, you have the likes of Ford. All 3 are very prestigious manufacturers in the world of the United States. So not only is the WEC expanding on the global side of things, but over in the United States as well, to see 3 manufacturers competing. I would make the trip all the way to Texas just to see those 3 brands compete. But of course, that's not happening this year, at least. But yeah, really exciting to see that there's so much popularity for the WEC in the United States.
Yeah. And we talked about it, as you said, that COTA is a place that can fill the grandstands, and with Hypercar and WEC getting more popular, and people wanting to watch these types of races in bigger numbers, this is a perfect place to go to. We saw it also with Sebring. A lot of people miss Sebring. That was also a crowd pleaser of a race. But this is also just for WEC to make their own mark in the States. Of course, we still see IMSA having a Sebring race. So to have 2 endurance races at this level in the United States is great stuff.
Yeah, for sure. And also, thinking about it geographically, this part of the United States doesn't get a lot of endurance racing. We're here in Austin, Texas, and the closest IMSA race, if I'm thinking about it, is honestly Long Beach, I would say, in California. I could be wrong on that, but I don't think maybe Sebring's closer. I'm not really sure. I'd have to really calculate it. But yeah, there's not a lot of endurance racing, and that's my point. And so to see the WEC come to COTA as well, is really big. So yeah, great to see. 10 minutes, viewers. We are 10 minutes until the start of this race. It is so exciting to have the WEC back in the United States, as mentioned before. A lot of comments coming in, a lot of support for this race. A lot of manufacturers in the hunt for the overall victory. One brand that's kind of new to the WEC in some way, that I think that a lot of folks, including ourselves, David, should definitely keep an eye on is BMW. BMW have both of their cars in the top 8. Now, these are new cars to the WEC. The M Hybrid V8 has never raced in the WEC at Texas. This is a car that has only just made its debut this year. So to see that they're performing pretty well, I mean, this is a very strong sign that BMW is improving and Team WRT is improving. And I think another factor as well, as mentioned before, is that Team RLL has a little bit of influence as well. You know, the M Hybrid V8s are also competing in IMSA with the Team RLL from IndyCar, actually. But I think that as we come to the USA, it's possible that BMW could have a very strong result considering the IMSA racing. So we'll see how it goes. Formation lap is about to begin. We're gonna get things going in just a moment's time. I'm super excited, honestly. As a fan, as a content creator, it is great to see racing return for the World Endurance Championship.
Absolutely. As we see also, I don't know, last time we did something like this, our feed was a bit different, but I hope this time that our feed and we can watch it live at the same time, because it was kind of weird and kind of difficult to commentate on a race when we had different feeds. But this time, I believe that we're pretty much close to same live feed. So yeah, as we see the cars getting ready to formation lap, at least at my screen, I'm excited as well. Jonah, because we're also getting to the business end of the the season as 3 minutes to race start, or to formation lap start. And getting to the business end of a season, the cars have gotten a lot more rubber on the tires, and are ready to, in a sort of fact that these new cars have raced a lot now, and are more competitive than they were for the start of the season. So these last few races is where we're going to see the most competitive field. And that's why these last races can be extremely interesting, because it won't just be Ferrari winning or Porsche winning, but it will also be a fight for Cadillac, BMW, as you mentioned, to actually take some of those podium places or even the race wins.
Yeah, you make a good point there, and I think that we are towards the end of the season, which means that the championship battles are getting intense. If Ferrari can grab a strong result here, that's big for the championship. It's been Toyota and Porsche that are kind of at the front. They've been very consistent. Ferrari has only achieved a really massive result, which was at the 24 Hours of Le Mans, which offered more points, which allowed them, as well as a few better results in other races, to be able to get a strong result. I believe our feeds, David, might be a little delayed because I'm currently seeing the cars just about getting ready to go out on track. Like literally, the person has just put 30 seconds up on the timing here. There's also, I'm watching the live stream and seeing one of the Ferrari GT cars in the pits. That's the 54 AF Corsa entry. Looks like they're fixing the car right now. I hope that entry can get in the race. And I don't remember exactly where it's starting. I think in the mid-pack of LMGT3, but we'll see. Hopefully that car can get out. Okay, so the cars are now going out on track from what it looks like. We have the safety car, and the American flag is also being waved as well. But yeah, this is great to see the WEC back in COTA, back for racing. Viewers, stick around with us for the start of the race for this small watch-along. Of course, we can't stream the full race. We can't stream the live feed because of copyright issues, and also I don't want to take that away from the WEC. As someone asked in the comments below, where can I watch the race? I'm going to repeat myself just one more time. The way you can watch this race is on the official WEC app. That does require a subscription, though. This is the case for pretty much everybody across the world except the United States of America. It is geo-blocked in the USA. The way to watch it in the US, where Lone Star Le Mans, of course, is taking place, is on the Max streaming service. So that also requires a subscription if you do not have that. Otherwise, there's other ways of watching as well. I mean, here we're kind of doing a pre-race and also first reaction to what's going on right now. But yeah, that's what's happening. So formation lap is here. The cars are going out on track, all of them, except the 54 Vista AF Corsa Ferrari. Hopefully we see that entry in the race.
Yeah, that's unfortunate also, not only for the team, but also for me, because I, of course, picked them to win the GT3 class.
Right.
So I'm quite... I hope, really hope that they will get on out on track. I believe we have around 30 seconds delay to my screen, because yeah, it fit when you said 30 seconds. It was 1 minute for me. Okay. So around 30 seconds delay for me. So my commentating would be a little bit off, but that's all right. I'll get your replays, Jonah, and then everything will be fine.
Well, we'll see how it goes. Hopefully it's all good. Yeah, I'm just currently watching it on board with one of the LMGT3 race cars. So much hype for this race. We're getting so excited for this one. It is great to see racing returning here. BMW looks strong. I think that Peugeot could get a good result. BOP is looking good on their side, which is great to see as well. Ferrari need a strong result, I think, for the championship. And hopefully they can repeat a similar result to what they have done over in Formula One. I won't spoil anything for any Formula One fans out there. I will not spoil any results for Formula One, but let's just say that Ferrari did achieve a not so bad result. We'll see how that goes. Yeah, getting ready for the Lone Star Le Mans. It's gonna get going in just a moment. Love to see a huge turnout as well as I'm watching on the live feed. So many cars. Which live stream onboard are you watching? I'm watching the live feed. David, I believe, is also doing the same. You can watch other onboards on the official WEC app, so that's a benefit of that. Also, I want to mention that Ben Keating is here. We didn't really get an opportunity to mention that earlier in the race preview, but he is here for Proton competition in the Ford Mustang. Put that car in hyperpole as well, which was great to see. Of course, Ben Keating has raced before at this track, showed off some very important action at the last 2020 event. But yeah, we'll see. So anyway, getting going, David, what are your thoughts as we kind of near the start of Lone Star Le Mans?
Well, I'm as usual when these race starts. I'm just on the edge, ready to watch the race. But I also saw a comment that it's very difficult to follow all the small races in one big race, as this is. So to pinpoint some of the stories, I believe that one of the great stories right now is that we see Iron Dames on second place in the GT3 class. It's a place where they haven't been for a long time. With this new Lamborghini for them, to see them qualifying in second is absolutely great. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to see what they can achieve throughout this race. That's the great story for me. As well as who will win the championship. We're getting to that part of the season where the next few races are really important for that, for the standings. You don't have much time left to make a difference. So seeing how that will turn out, what strategies will be come in play because of this, that's my biggest focus point for this race. But yeah, Jonah, just looking forward to close racing and great battles, because we always get this in the WEC.
Absolutely. Yeah, every single time we've gotten great battles. I just want to kind of say what you've been saying there. I think you're absolutely correct. We're in for an extremely fantastic race. Also, viewers, before we get underway, because we are just about to get things going for Lone Star Le Mans, there is a very slight chance of rain, but it's towards the night. I think it's going to be around 15% at 9 o'clock p.m. local time. Very unlikely that that's going to affect the race, but we'll see. We'll see how that goes. Anyway, we are currently at the last part of the track here. The cars are lined up side by side. It is time for Lone Star Le Mans. Cannot wait for the racing to get underway. Of course, we'll be live streaming the start of the event. Just to reiterate what I've been saying, for anybody new joining, strap yourselves in, viewers. It's time for Lone Star Le Mans. Let's get this thing going between all 13 manufacturers present. Ferrari on pole position. Can they hold it? Can Alpine get a good result? Can Cadillac get a good result at their home race? Here we go. For me, right now, they're about to start. The 51 Ferrari is leading the field as they come around the final turn now. Let's see what they can do. Can Ferrari take this? And let's see. Ferrari is going to lead the field to green, and we are about green flag. Let's see. And racing begins at Lone Star Le Mans. Here we go. We are back in the United States of America. The WEC is returning, and the 51 Ferrari gets a great start off of the 83 Ferrari. Leads into turn 1. The 50 Ferrari challenging the Cadillacs and the Alpines. Looks like a little bit of contact throughout the field, riding on board with some of the cars, and it's now a Ferrari 1-2-3. Wow, absolutely incredible, as the 51 is ahead of the 83, ahead of the 50. Ferrari 1-2-3 in the USA. Alpine is 4th. Bad start for the Cadillac, and it is Iron Dames has lost a position to the 55 Ferrari. Art of Racing leads in LMGT3. Pretty good start for a lot of the field. The Peugeot 93 cars up to 8th position. Great start for those entries. Not a great start for the Porsches. They've moved down the order. The number 5 car is down the order. Oh, and the Lamborghini's been pushed off track as well. The SC63 has been pushed off by one of the Toyotas. Not a great start for Toyota or Porsche. Meanwhile, the number 20 BMW's got ahead of the number 35 Alpine. BMW have got into 4th, but the 3 Ferraris are just going away from this.
It's absolutely dominance as my race starts here on my stream. So just listening to this and hearing that the Ferraris is 1, 2, 3, it's absolutely great news. Unfortunate for the Cadillacs to see. I will try to watch what happened, seeing them getting that bad start down to 6th on my screen. But yeah, close racing already. We're seeing fighting at the top and Ferrari 1, 2, 3, Jonah.
Yeah, Ferrari.
I mean, is it just gonna be a Ferrari dominance today?
Maybe, but there's still a long race to go. We are just starting this 6-hour endurance race, viewers. Let's see if Ferrari can hold this. But right now, major contact at one of the turns. I think it's turn 12. Between a couple of cars, and the Lamborghini and Peugeot have moved up the order as well. Great to see this. BMW are now 4th and 5th, and the number 5 Porsche comes into the pit lane. That's the Penske entry. That is not a great start for Porsche Penske. The number 6 is all the way at the back. This is a horrible start for Porsche Penske in this race. Cadillac is down to 7th. The number 93 Peugeot is up to 6th. What a great start. Meanwhile, the 94 comes into the pit lane. So not a great start for the second Peugeot. And not a great start for Porsche Penske. I reiterate what I was saying there. It seems that the number 5 car has gotten damaged from the contact at turn 12, if I'm not mistaken, between the Cadillac, the Alpine, and the Porsche. But yeah, currently it's Ferrari 1, 2, 3 at Lone Star Le Mans. BMW are placed in 4th and 5th, followed by the first of the Peugeot 9XA hypercars. Love the mix in the field. Let's see what happens, though.
Yeah, absolutely. As we also just saw, the 54 Vista AF Corsa getting a 1-minute pit stop penalty, so they will already be on the back foot, and maybe this is just that fight for now. The Porsches losing this field, it's the karma coming back at them after a great start to the season. Now having to fight to stay on top of the championship, because of course, we know that the Porsche Penske number 5 is leading right now the WEC.
Oh, isn't it the 6?
Isn't the 6?
I think the 6 is leading.
The 5, but maybe the 6. If it's the 6 or the 5, it's no doubt it's a bad start to this race, and maybe have a bad ending to this season and having to fight just to stay at the top of the standings.
Oh, you were mentioning the 6 as in like the 5 started ahead. I thought you were talking about the championship for a moment.
I was talking about the championship.
Oh, you were?
It's
Okay.
It's a mix-up.
All good. But yeah, I agree with what you were mentioning there, and we'll see. I mean, Porsche Penske, I'm watching it right now. They currently have both of their cars at the back of the field. The customer 963s are ahead of the Porsches, the factory Porsches, which is very interesting to see. Hopefully, for Porsche Penske's sake, they can move further up. Meanwhile, the number 7 Toyota has got into 8th, so that's nice to see for Toyota. We were watching what's going on screen. You can also see the data right here to the right of your screen. Ferrari 1, 2, 3, 51 ahead of the 83, ahead of the 50, with a pretty good gap to the BMWs, which are 4th and 5th at the moment. Also, viewers, Lamborghini is placed best on the BOP. They are the best placed car on the weight, and they are the best placed car on the power as well. I expect this to be the SC63's best race in the WEC. Hopefully they have a good result. We will see how that goes. Meanwhile, up at the front of the field, the BMWs have closed the gap to the 50 Ferrari, and the 83 Ferrari is challenging for the overall win. Remember, viewers, this is the privateer car, but we have a driver who is all too familiar with racing in endurance racing and motorsport in general. Robert Kubica in the number 83 Ferrari, chasing down another former Formula One driver, Antonio Giovinazzi. Both of these racers, of course, have raced in Formula One. Both have actually raced against each other in Formula One, one with Alfa Romeo, the other with Williams back in 2019, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, the number 5 Porsche and 94 Peugeot are kind of moving their way towards the front of the field. A long race to go for those Porsche fans out there. It is not the end. We will definitely see Porsche Penske, I think, move closer up to the field. Speaking of which, the number 6 Porsche is right on the back of the Proton competition Porsche and looking to make a move potentially into turn 1. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, over in LMGT3, 27 Heart of Racing Aston Martin up in front. What do you make of the LMGT3 battle so far, David?
It's interesting because right now I'm following the TF Sport Corvette, actually fighting for third place with the Iron Dames, and it's incredibly close here. Not like we see it in a hypercar. It's four different manufacturers actually fighting for podium places, and maybe that American manufacturer up at third place with TF Sport right now fighting for a podium place. Also, just to mention, back at you talked about the 83 Ferrari in hypercar. They actually led Le Mans for a long time. Right. So we know they can fight with the other Ferraris. We know they are a top team. So seeing them fighting for overall victory right now is not something that I'm surprised by. What I am surprised by is seeing the Ford 88 Proton with Ben Keating in 5th place now in the GT3 class. It's amazing to see that team and that car especially fighting now actually for points and being competitive in the GT3. When remembering back at the start of the season where they were so slow and fighting just to finish the races, in fact. So seeing them now fighting for points is really good to see.
Yeah, and that's Ben Keating's talent right there, showing what he can do. You know, he's one of the star drivers of endurance racing right now when it comes to either LMP2, GT. You know, he won with Corvette in the WEC last year. He's racing with Ford today in the 88 Proton car. But in general, Ford have been showing very competitive pace recently across either the WEC or IMSA. You know, in IMSA, I just covered the VIR race in IMSA. Ford had, in my opinion, maybe even the fastest car at times. They placed in 2nd and 4th overall. The 64 got its first podium in IMSA. So it's been very strong performances from the Ford, and I think it took them time for them to be able to get up to the front, and I think we're starting to see that the Mustangs are performing well in the WEC. They're also best placed when it came to the BOP as well, when it came to how light the cars are. And speaking of LMGT3, there is a battle right now for third as the 81 Corvette from TF Sport is looking to make a move on the 55 Ferrari. Can the driver be able to do that? Also, meanwhile, there is a investigation going on between the incident between the number 35 Alpine and the number 2 Cadillac. There's a potential penalty coming the way of either the Alpine or the Cadillac, as we see some of the cars actually in LMGT3 having to avoid one of the hypercars. That's the number 94 Peugeot. So we'll see how that all goes. But back up at the front, it is Ferrari, still leading overall, 51 ahead of 83 ahead of 50. The BMWs aren't far behind either. This is some competitive race. I mean, if you look to the top 12 cars, I believe that every single car in the top 12, this is all manufacturers present, if I'm not mistaken. We have the Porsches, we have the Alpines, we have the Lamborghini, we have the Toyota, we have the Cadillac, we have the Peugeot, the BMW, the Ferrari. And of course, Isotta Fraschini is not here. So the top 12 features all manufacturers in the championship, which is great to see. But David, I'm not sure where you are with your stream, but right now I am watching Marco Wittmann, the German racer, in the number 15 BMW, chasing down the number 50 Ferrari. I told you BMW had strong pace. Could they challenge for an overall podium today, or maybe even an overall win?
I would say the podium is definitely on the cards. It's not something I would be surprised by, even when we talk back at the start of the season. BMW, of course, having 1 year under their belt with that car. Different team, of course, not Team WRT, but Team
Right.
IRL in IMSA. But it makes a difference. It really does. And seeing now them fight for podium place at Lone Star Le Mans is great. Um, I just want to mention as well that the right now Porsche in GT3 also struggling. I mean, compared to what we're used to, them being down there in the middle of the pack in GT3, and right now in hypercar as well, not being on pace for the Porsche team cars. What is going on? Is this just not a Porsche track, Jonah?
I think it's partly due to the fact that they have a very heavy car. This is the BOP, and I think this is also not turning out to be Porsche's track in LMGT3 and in hypercar as well. It's not turning out to be the best race. We've seen the Penske cars at the top. Seems the number 5 car was the highest placed car. The 6 started down the order. I think it's possible that we could see them get a good result. And for any Porsche fans out there, think back to the last race in the WEC at Interlagos, of course, and the number 6 Porsche had the contact with the number 12 Porsche from Hertz Team Jota. That car went to the back of the field and climbed all the way back up to second. So honestly, anything can happen. Even if the number 6 Porsche or number 5 Porsche is at the very back of the field, they could definitely still finish on the podium, which is bold considering all the cars in this category. But we've seen it before. We have seen it before, as mentioned before with the Interlagos race. So I don't know. It doesn't seem to be Porsche's race, but we'll see. Maybe things change. Back up at the front, BMW still on the back of the Ferraris, and the 83 cars losing a little bit of time to the other cars as well. So things are looking really good for BMW. I don't want to jinx anything, but it's looking pretty strong.
Yeah. As also we saw in GT3, the Corvette now being third overall. So a American manufacturer on the podium at Lone Star Le Mans. Are you happy about that, Jonah? Because we talked about this before in the preview, that actually this one might be the time for a American manufacturer to be on the podium again. Of course, we saw Ford in GT3 on the podium at Le Mans, but other than that, it hasn't been the most successful year for American teams in the WEC. So right now, a Corvette at third place in GT3 and looking strong, looking very, very strong. And of course, for any WEC fan and endurance racing fan, the Corvette theme in that GT3 or in the GTE beforehand is a fan favorite. Everybody loves that car, and for me as well, to see that car now after the start of the season. I remember that first race when they had pole position, and throughout the whole race it just fell through the field. Now being third place, that's really, really great to see. Really, really great to see.
Yeah, I think this has been Corvette's stronger race. I think the last time that they really had pace was what you were saying, Qatar, when Tom van Rompuy put the 81 Corvette on pole. It didn't go their way, of course, but I think here at the USA, it's definitely turning out to be a much better race. So hopefully Corvette can finish on the podium here at Lone Star Le Mans. We will see how that goes. But right now, the 81 car is in the top 3, which is great to see. Meanwhile, the number 15 BMW, I'm glancing off to the side of my screen, viewers, to watch the live stream right now. So if you see me doing that, that's why. The 15 BMW still on the back of the number 50 Ferrari, looking to spoil Ferrari's top 3 right now in this race. Still a long ways to go. We are only about 15 minutes in, and still 5 hours and 45 minutes to go of this race at Lone Star Le Mans. A long way to go in this event. It could really go anyone's way. We will see how it goes. But honestly, in terms of the variety of manufacturers in the top 10, this is the biggest variety of cars from different manufacturers I think we've ever seen in the WEC. And that's a bold statement, I know, but I mean, look at this. We have Ferrari, we have BMW, we have Peugeot, we have Cadillac, we have Toyota, we have Alpine, we have Porsche, and we have Lamborghini, all in the top 12. That's all manufacturers as well. Meanwhile, breaking news, the 35 Alpine has received a drive-through penalty for causing a collision at turn 12. That's for the incident at turn 12 towards the start of this race. Meanwhile, a move for sixth, Cadillac and Peugeot side by side. Ooh, a little bit of contact. That allows the Toyota, the number 7 car, to get ahead, and that is a strong move by Mike Conway, who's gonna look to take the move and get ahead. Wow, okay, so the number 7 Toyota takes advantage of the Peugeot and the Cadillac having an off. Both cars were side by side at turn 1, then they went a little off track, and the Toyota took advantage of that and is now into P6. What a strong move from the British racer Mike Conway.
Yeah, as I'm seeing that battle right now on my screen as well. Looking forward to see that move. But it really is the usual Toyota if they will come back like slowly, the slow assassin, not looking the strongest, and then all of a sudden being up there. But 2 positions in one move, that's really, really impressive. And something that we're used to see from Toyota is that high quality racing. As I just saw the move, that was bold for the Toyotas to move inside when 2 cars fighting. It's risky, but of course Mike Conway would pull that off. And now just having honestly following the battle between the Ferrari 50 and the number 15 BMW. It seems that BMW has an advantage, but is still trying to find that one place where it can move on the number 50. Jonah, do you asked me beforehand, do you expect us to get a new team on the podium, something that we have never seen before this season?
Yes, I think so. I think that we could definitely see BMW up there, and I think we could definitely see Cadillac up there. It's one of those, in my opinion. Also, Peugeot looks strong. The number 93 car is moving up the order. We'll see how that goes. Hopefully, they can get a strong result. But yeah, I think so. I think that a new team or a new car could take the championship podium or the overall podium here at COTA. We'll see how that works out. Also, I want to mention 2 things that's happening out on my screen. 35 Alpine has served its drive-through penalty, has tumbled down the order. That's why it's kind of off the leaderboard now. And the number 6 Porsche has got past the Proton competition Porsche and is now right on the back of the number 8 Toyota. So Porsche Penske are making their way through the field just kind of slowly, and I think that they're trying maybe a different strategy. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, right now, up at the top, still Ferrari 1, 2, 3. BMW completes the top 5. And they look very strong. A lot of these cars are going through the LMGT3 traffic, so that could definitely play a part. But yeah, so far a very, very strong race here at the WEC's Lone Star Le Mans event. Corvette still in P3 in LMGT3. Iron Dames still in the podium positions as well. But right now, it is still that number 27 Heart of Racing Aston Martin at the top as it continues to lead in the GT3 category.
Yeah, and if Aston Martin can get a win here in the States, it would really boast for the news of them joining Hypercar next year.
Right.
Of course, Heart of Racing as well, being the team that are running their Hypercar program. So getting a win this season for that car specifically would be absolutely great, as Aston Martin have not had the year that we're used to seeing from the Aston Martins in the GT field. Of course, in WEC especially, they have been fighting and winning for the most part. Most prominently, from my memory, is the 95 with Nicky Thiem and Marco Sørensen when they were dominating that GTE Pro field. So seeing that team leading now, and also with the prospect of that team joining Hypercar next year, it sounds really, really good to see them finding their groove and maybe winning here. But of course, Jonah, it's over 5 hours left. And we just got started, and endurance racing is like this. We see a lot of movement all the time, and it's extremely hard to follow. But for the Ferrari 51 and the Aston Martin 27 to lead from pole position, both of those cars, and still be leading. That's a really, really good sign.
Yeah, for sure. Really, really good sign. And yeah, as you mentioned, long way to go. We are just around 20 minutes into this event, and we're already seeing an incredible race. And you can tell that the vibe is definitely different compared to the last time we were here at COTA. And that's no disregard to the 2020 race, which was still impressive. You know, we had some very good fighting, especially in the GTM category. But this is just a different energy here at Lone Star Le Mans. You have the hypercars and the LMGT3s. It's just the level of competition is so high, and that's why the WEC is so amazing right now. It's in such a good place. To see, I'm just going to reiterate what I was saying here, to see all manufacturers besides Alpine in the top 10 now is just exactly why the hypercar class is so successful, why these regulations of LMH and LMDH are so successful. You know, you have a couple LMH cars, you have a couple LMDH cars in the top 10, which is just absolutely incredible. But yep, it's still Ferrari 1, 2, 3 here at COTA. Can they hold on to that? We will see as we are continuing on with Lone Star Le Mans here in Texas.
Yeah, Jonah. Like, also just the fact that we have a top 10. Because
Yeah.
last time we were here, there weren't 10 cars for the for the leading class for the LMP1. So having a top 10 in general, amazing, and having almost a top 20 as well. For me, it's unbelievable. Just this, that we're talking about it as something that we're almost used to saying, yeah, WC and hypercar just fighting all over the field. And for me, my memories is that there was fighting for the podium places, and that was it. So now to have a reality where we can see multiple different manufacturers fighting for victories and fighting for podium places is really astonishing. This reminds me of when we had the GTE Pro field being this fan favorite, the class that people tuned in to watch. That was because of the GTE Pro back in the day with of course, the Mustang, the Ferrari, the Porsche, and the Aston Martin fighting all over the field and always being extremely close right to the end, especially at Le Mans, where we saw once a battle between the Aston Martin and the Corvette go right down to the wire. This is something we can expect for the race win now. Of course, we saw it with the Ferrari this year at Le Mans, also being extremely close with mechanical difficulties for the number 50, but still winning. So right now we are in a period of time in WEC and endurance racing where nothing is over until it's over, and it's fighting all over the place. And even though we have a 1, 2, 3 right now for Ferrari, it could easily end up with none of those cars on the podium by the end of the race. This is how close the WEC is, and IMSA is for that sake as well.
Yeah, you make a really good point there, and I 100% agree with you. I think that we are in a golden age of the WEC. And going back to the 2020 race real quickly, that race had 3 cars in LMP1, 2 Toyotas and 1 Rebellion. That race was dominated by Rebellion, and there was basically no action. We go from 3 cars in 2020 to now 18 in 2024. Just 4 years after, we have a massive change in the top class, which is absolutely incredible to see, and just continues the train of why the WEC is in such a golden place at the moment. Anyway, though, Ferrari still 1, 2, 3 in this race, BMW 4 and 5, and as David pointed out, even though those Ferraris are in the top 3, we could see a totally different podium at the end of this race. We are still in a very long event. This is a long way to go in this category, in this race. LMGT3 and Hypercar proving to be absolutely fantastic. Viewers, I hope you're enjoying the race so far. If you don't know where to watch it, it's on the official WEC app, and the racing for the USA is on Max. That's the best place to watch the WEC action. But anyway, we'll probably end off the stream in just a few minutes. Of course, we can't stream the full thing. Otherwise, there'd be copyright issues, and of course, we need to take breaks and stuff like that. But David, how good has this race been so far? Would you say it's up there as one of the best of the season?
Well, it's difficult because we have had so many good races.
True.
And there's still so long left of it. And of course, when we talk about the best race so far, for me, it's Le Mans with that ending. And even though we had that huge safety car spell, so also this race, it could be that we have 4 hours of safety cars. Hopefully not, but it could easily happen as well. So, yeah, but so far it's opening up to be a great race with a lot of fighting. I hope to see a bit more of battling of the top 3 in hypercar, to be honest. But other than that, looking down the field, it's really close. But yeah, it has always been close in this season, and I would not be surprised to having to, in the review of this race, to say that it was absolutely amazing and so close fighting throughout the whole race and all that kind of stuff. But so far, really, really good, and hopefully a close battle for the win in both classes.
Yep, I 100% agree, and I think we will get a very strong fight for the win in hypercar. You know, the gap is pretty small between third and fourth. BMW is closing in on that 50 Ferrari, so we'll see how that goes. I definitely think it's going to be awesome. We'll see how that all goes. I'm just watching a quick pit stop with the number 5 Porsche, which came in for a refueling. So I would say that's not a change in terms of damage. That's a pit stop for strategy. That was like the first, or wait, actually, maybe that was something happened with the number 5 Porsche, which dropped it outside the top 10 in the first lap. So something happened. If anybody knows what's going on with the number 5 Porsche, put it down in the comments below. David, do you know what's going on with the 5 car?
No, I'm trying to see if I could catch up on anything, but yeah, that's the second time we see them in the pits already, and that's worrying for a car that has been struggling, to be honest, compared to its sister car throughout this season. Number 5 have been struck with problems many times, have not had the pace of the number 6 Penske. So to see them now, I see the pit stop as well. Refueling, it just looked like so. Maybe a different kind of strategy, but this seems very weird from the Porsche Penske. But I would never doubt the Porsche Penske team and the car. It's very experienced, and Porsche has always been extremely competitive. So, but yeah, definitely looking weird in terms of strategy right now for the number 5 Porsche Penske.
Yeah, I have no doubt that Porsche Penske knows what they're doing as well. They are a very organized team, as you mentioned. So we'll see. Hopefully they have a stronger result in the race and they can recover from what's going on. But I think this is about the time when we're going to probably end off our stream. I'd love to continue on, David. It is always a pleasure to talk with you and cover what's going on here. But like I said, if we continue, I don't want to go into the copyright issues. Viewers, it has been an absolutely incredible pleasure to live stream what's going on during the Lone Star Le Mans weekend. Absolutely fantastic racing going on right now. This will continue. A race review will be coming out later as well on the channel. But yeah, we're absolutely in for a treat for the end of this race. It's gonna be amazing. Ferrari leads 1-2-3. Let's see if they can hold it to the end of the race.